Right, so now we're looking for any maxes or mins of this function. So I'm going to start by finding the first and second derivatives. So first derivative is going to be x cubed minus 6x squared. That means the second derivative is going to be 3x squared minus 12x. And then I'm going to set this one equal to 0. So I'm going to have x squared times x minus 6 equals 0. So I know that I'm going to have potential maxes and mins at x is 0 or x is 6. I know that the second derivative at 0 is going to be 0. So this tells me that's a point of inflection. And the second derivative at 6 is going to be 3 times 36 minus 72. That's going to be positive. It tells me this graph is concave up, which tells me that this is going to be a min. I could also think about this graph. This is a quartic graph that points up. So that means it's either going to have this shape or it's going to have this sort of shape. Knowing that I have a point of inflection, that's interesting because this graph doesn't have a point of inflection unless it looks like this with a stationary point of inflection and then comes down and up. And in this case, we can still say that we're concave up. Concave up, concave down, concave up. So this makes sense that I would have only one max or min because this isn't actually going to be a local max or min, just this one. So this is now the shape of my graph. Notice I didn't find any x-intercepts with this, only local maxes or mins. So my local min is going to have coordinates. Now I need to find f of 6. So I'm going to have 6 to the 4th over 4 minus 2 times 6 cubed. I don't know what those calculations are off the top of my head. So I'm going to figure them out. Calculator, Desmos, whatever, to find my y value so that I know the coordinates of my local min. And then I'm going to go ahead and verify that my graph looks the way that I thought it looked as well. So let's do this all at the same time. I've got 1/4 x to the 4th minus 6x cubed. Notice typing it this way, I'm only dividing by the 4, so that's okay. I'm going to do a standard zoom, although I bet at already knowing at x equals 6, I knew that my value was going to be very low. But the picture is looking as I suspected, so I'm going to take this and just go -5 to my key point that I care about is at 6, so I'll keep that 10. And now I know that I want to go below 6 to the 4th over 4 minus 2 times 6 cubed. So I'm just going to put that in. 6 to the 4th divided by 4 minus 2 times 6 cubed and then I'll subtract another 10 and it'll do that calculation for me. So now let's count by 20s, and I want to make sure that I graphed the right function. That shouldn't be 6x cubed. Okay, there's 2, and here's my picture as I suspected, and we can use our calculator to calculate the value when x is 6, and I get -108. So here's what my picture looks like, and my minimum is at 6, negative 108.